Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast Afternoon Tea in Bangkok. My name is Phương, the host of today's podcast, and we have two guests. Welcome our guests, Chị Thương and Quyên.
And we have Lotus too.
Oh,
We're special guest.
yeah, I'm very happy, and it's our great pleasure to have Lotus too.
Yay! Are you excited?
Today's episode is special and it's just our first time experiment. We decided to speak English. The topic today is familiar topic, which is about traveling. Do you like traveling?
For me, I really like to travel because I think that it gives a lot of experience for ourselves and then the person that we are going to travel with, or we are traveling alone with to meet new friends or new culture that we have never seen.
Oh, yeah. Very short answer, but yeah, very meaningful. What about Chị Thương?
Uh, Traveling is a part of my life actually for the past 10 years. In the past, because of the economy situations, conditions, that we were not able to afford to travel so much. And it was difficult in the past, but now because of the technology, airlines, and bookings for the hotels are so convenient. So I put it as a part of our yearly plan. We do have like long trips every year, once at least. Otherwise, many short trips that we do plan to have, like at least a few domestic trips. I don't answer directly whether I like it or not, but for me and for my family, it's a part of our daily job that we put on our plan to travel.
Yeah, yeah, I know your family spend a lot of time traveling. Yeah, it would be great experience for all family members. Yes. And Quyên, I guess your answer is yes.
Yeah, of course. I like traveling, but actually, I'm not the same. All my family is not the same like Chị Thương family. Actually, both me and my husband, we are kind of introvert people. So normally, we like to spend time at home more than going out. But for sure, we see the benefits of traveling. No need to go very far outside of the country. We can maybe like go to another provinces in Thailand or go somewhere else, which is new for us. We also can see new things and learn new things already. So of course, the answer is yes.
How about you? Phương?
Yeah, my answer is also yes. Yeah, I think every one of us like traveling a lot. It depends on our financial condition, personality. So we spend time to travel, maybe domestic or maybe to a foreign country with our family members. Yeah, so I guess everyone can understand the benefits that the traveling can bring to us. I saw Chị Thương just mention about the advancement of technology that help the traveling more convenient. Can you tell me more about the advancement of technology, how it can help the traveling?
We are all nowadays use a smartphone, so we can actually do everything within our smartphone. In the past, we used to go to the travel agency to make a booking for the airline ticket, and hotel was so tough at that time. But now, just with a smartphone and with so many online travel agency, it's allow us to book the air tickets, hotels, and we plan our trip so easy. A lot of online travel agency like booking.com, agoda, trip.com, or the Skyscanner, which is the online travel agency for airlines. You can make the booking so easily within your phone and you get the confirmation within few minutes.
I agree. Yeah. And I would like to ask Lotus. Lotus is very special guest today. I guess Lotus most of the time just travel with families, right? But have you ever think about traveling alone? Maybe you don't have a chance yet, but have you ever thought about it?
I have thought, like, for me, I travel outside or mostly of my life, about like 99% of my life. I travel with my family, but for the past few months, 2 or 3 months, my mom start letting me go and travel by myself around the city.
she wants me to see the whole city by myself, because if I have my parents with, I don't have my rights to go there or go this. So I'm happy when I'm travel alone, but like I'm an extrovert person, so I like to stay with like people. And then for the last year and this year, I start going to travel, go to the mall with my friends. So it's the first time without my family.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Sounds great. And actually, I have one thing to recommend as well that your family will have a trip soon, right, this year. So maybe you can ask your mom to let you plan something for the family for that trip, and then you can learn something new as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You
Yeah.
don't worry, you just need to plan something, like you do
Yeah.
some
I'm
research.
stressed.
No need to be stressed. Just take it easy, take it relax.
Yeah, I think for the first time, if you feel stressed, it's just normal. Yeah, but for sure you will learn a lot of lessons.
And how about Phương? Have you got any trip that you feel very impressive? You feel that it is memorable lifetime for you?
Memorable lifetime.
Yeah.
uh, I have had a lot of trips, but memorable lifetime. I cannot think of any right now.
What it just suddenly spot out in your mind now? Any trip?
Uh,
Nothing.
Nothing. My mind is blank. I cannot.
Yeah, it's okay. Maybe it's just too sudden to ask you this question.
Right. Because most of the trips I have had are quite the same. Because most of them I just go with my family or just with my friends. So
Yeah,
I think there is no typically different style or alone kind of solo trip. I have never had a chance to do so.
yeah. We just
So that's why when you ask me that question, my mind is blank. I cannot think of any specific trip. What about you? Do you have any?
my mind is also blank because I actually travel a lot and all the trips are impressive too. Actually, even the short trip sometimes even within the city, like the trip we went to the park in the middle of Bangkok where we took a long walk. So all the trips are very nice for me. Every time I got a chance to travel, I feel so happy. I feel so relaxed. Can't tell exactly same as you because I'm blank, but just to say to summary that all the trip that I got a chance to go, whether long or short, I feel good.
Maybe I can tell my experience.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, I think maybe it's not so special for anyone, but for me, like I really like new places. And the moment I see something new, I, how to say, suddenly feel, wow, this is the thing that I never experienced before. So I want to talk about 2 times traveling. The first time it is quite long already. That's the time I traveled to Tam Dao. I think you know it is in Vietnam, near Hanoi, and it's the place that is a little bit higher than Hanoi, right? Not a little bit, I think. And it's around 5 p.m. So like the sun was still there, but the fog already went down, and the level of the fog was very low. Like it's around my chest, and I couldn't see anyone else beyond like around 1 meters or 2 meters from me. So you know that I'm quite short, but the fog went low to the level of my chest.
I
It
can
was,
understand you.
yeah, it was like wow, so amazing. And then if we drove a motorbike, we needed to turn the light on. If not,
Uh,
we
even
couldn't see the
daytime.
road. Yes, it's around 4 or 5 p.m. Oh yeah.
Mm.
That's the first time in Tam Dao, Vietnam. And the second time when my husband and I traveled to Japan. That day we went to try onsen. I don't remember the name of that province.
It's a famous for onsen.
Yes, yes, it is.
It's about few hours by train from Tokyo.
No, we went from Osaka. Yeah, and then let's say we walked down from the bus and then it's just not a long road, but that road there were a lot of sakura trees and flowers. And at that time, the wind was very nice. It's cold, but not too cold. I wanted to try some like street food, and my husband, he wanted to eat ice cream because it's kind of long time for him to have something sweet. At that time, he was trying to lose weight, so he said that this is a special day, so he wanted ice cream. And then I was waiting for him outside, and then with the nice wind and the flowers fall down, and then my husband walked out from the ice cream shop with very happy face. And it was like kind of a special moment for me, that wow, it's just like I was in the movie. To see the happy face of my husband with the flower falling down, like the one that I really love. Yes.
It's like in the romantic movies, and the prince is appearing in front of you.
Yeah, the charming prince.
Yeah, with ice cream.
Lotus has a similar experience in Japan, right?
With another charming prince.
Uh, my experience, I was going to Japan about like 2-3 days after I went, and then I was sitting in the train with my younger brother, and then we are talking stuff with kids, and then and for sure we are so loud. We are loud, but not that kind of loud. And then some old auntie, about 60 or 70, sit across, and then she like talk to me, talk in Japanese, and then I don't understand her, but she trying to tell that we are so loud, and then she say shut up, and then we're
Oh,
so stunned, like we're so stunned, like, and then I cried in the middle of the train.
You know that in Japan they are so quiet on the public transportation. We just came from Thailand, which is not that serious, and Lotus and Justin were small at that time, and they was not aware of that. They just play a game, talk a bit loud. They went in front of two of them, and the lady shouted at Lotus and Justin. Well, everybody was shocked as well that you could have just tell them to stop. They should understand.
Yeah, Lotus, I can understand your feeling. But yeah, when you're traveling abroad, we need to accept that it's kind of the cultural shock, which is the difference between the control of different countries. So yeah, I think it's a great experience for us to be aware of the difference.
Yeah, she cried and she felt so bad every time we talk about Japan. But I think now when she grow up a bit, she understands that each culture is different. Something we are doing is right here in Bangkok is okay, no problem. But in some other country, which is not okay for them, and when we travel, we understand and we should not take those action to be serious, right? Okay.
So, Chị Thương, can you share with us some experience how to avoid the situations like that?
Yeah, I think this is very good things for us to care whenever we travel, especially to the culture where there is a difference between what our culture is doing. Like for Japan, as we know, is very well known for their discipline and silence. So yeah, one thing from Lotus, we learned that every time we go to any new country, especially the country where we feel that we are not so familiar, we need to do some kind of study about some do and don't in those culture. In general, people do understand that we are traveler and there are some mistakes that we do make sometimes. But like for some Muslim country, the certain thing, for example, the clothes that you are wearing, pose your body, which make them feel that they don't have good impression about you, then we should avoid. Like we need to ask some information about some help than local people would. It might not be in depth, and I also think we don't need to be so serious in case we make some mistakes, but it's always good to do some study before we go.
Right. Yeah, we should do some research, some tips about do and don'ts when traveling abroad. So even within one country, we should care about the difference.
Right.
Yes. How about Quyên? Have you ever experienced kind of cultural shock? Do you have any idea about how we can avoid those things?
Culture shock? Not really. Actually, I don't really travel abroad a lot. Foreign countries that I used to travel to, like mostly they have quite familiar cultures with us. Yeah, but then I think one shock thing for me is the price. I mean, like when once I travel to Singapore, it's way more expensive than what we normally spend in Vietnam or in Thailand.
Price shocks always make us memorable, right?
Yes. So I think we need to be careful a little bit. And one thing that I took this advice from someone else, I don't remember, but like they said that, okay, let's compare. If you want to know the price in another country, maybe you can compare the price of one bottle of water in the supermarket with the one that you are having now in your country. So you know a little bit. So when I compare the price in Singapore, it's 5 times than the one we have in
Yeah.
Thailand.
But in Singapore, I remember they have tap water you can drink for free.
Yes, that's why I brought like empty bottles with me, and then
So it's the cost even cheaper than in Thailand. That is very smart way.
Yeah, the shocking thing for Korean is not about control, but about price. Yeah, but I think it's very practical.
I
Uh,
have an idea to share when you want to compare. For me, I always compare one meal, average meal. For example, in Bangkok nowadays, we see one like regular meal in Bangkok on the roadside. It's about 60 baht. Any other countries that you go, you can check average one meal. How much is in their dollars and convert into Thai baht. You can, estimate your expenses as well, and the level of cost in that country.
that's a very good advice. Yeah, I'll take that, and then next time when I travel abroad, I'll do the same as you recommend. So for you, like, what do you enjoy when traveling? What is something that you really like?
The first thing I enjoy traveling actually is the food. I really want to explore the food from different country, especially the country where they have a special, unique taste cuisine. So the food is something that I really enjoy. The first thing. The second thing is to explore the culture. My husband really loved to go and see the museums, and he really want to learn, what happened to this country, because museum is a way for us to understand their culture and also to understand why they are this way. So recently we went in this year, right?
South Korea.
South Korea, we also went to see the museum where they talk about the development of Korea. And we really understand why Korea can be this developed because of the education system, the strategy about economy. So it's really interesting actually to go to the museum to learn. So that's the two things I really enjoy. And the third thing is the beautiful places, of course, where you have aha moment, where you see something that you have never got a chance to see. And the fourth thing is different with us is the weather. Actually, in Bangkok, we always have 4 seasons: hot, very hot, very very hot, and very very hot. So when we go to other country, I really love to go in the cool or cold seasons where we get some special feeling. So those are 4 points that I really love about traveling. And how
Yeah.
about you, Quinn?
Actually, I there's one point that the same to you is going to see the museum because I want to see the history of the cities or the countries we travel to. It's also a
Yeah.
good learning time. And another thing I like when traveling is I like to talk with new people. Not only the local people, of course. If we have a chance talking with local people, it's very great. They will teach us something new. Teaching here, I mean like when we ask some questions and the way they answer us, we already know like okay, maybe they have different thinking, and we also understand more about their country. And secondly is talking with the people we travel with. So before, like I and my husband, we like to book a day tour to travel to some like attractions in that cities or countries that we travel to. In that tour we normally meet someone else from other countries as well, and we are really open to talk to them. So we know that okay, they are from UK or from Hong Kong, and why they want to travel here, what do they think about this country and this trip. Yeah, there are things that we are seeing, do they like it and why not, something like that. So I really like talking with new people. How about Lotus?
For me, when we go to another country, I like the food. I love food. I live for food. And then I like to try the new country of their traditional food and kind of stuff. And then I like to study about some of the ingredients that have only in this country, but not our country or the countries that have the same. Yeah, that's all for me.
Darling, you travel just for food. Yeah, how about Phương? We were talking about what do we like when we travel, whether it's domestic or international trip.
I think food is a good example, but for me, I like to view the beautiful nature viewpoints. I mean, the scenery, the beautiful scenery of that country. Yeah, so I always feel very relaxed when we dive into the nature scenery. I can feel the fresh air, feel the healing energy of the nature. It helps me a lot because nowadays I think our life is full of stress and anxiety from work and from daily life, especially when we are living in big cities, right? So when I travel, I'd like to be back to nature. Yeah, it's very good feeling.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you feel the same?
Yeah, actually, every trip we are seeking for the place or environment that is different from the city life, from what we are living now. Yeah, I do enjoy in general everything city, but yeah, special happiness when I have a chance to go to the place where we can see the beauty of nature, the things that
Yes.
created by nature, from the greenery garden. It's grow organically, just green feeling is already give me a very relaxed feeling. And other than that, I do really enjoy on the creation of the nature. For example, the mountain, the sea. It really makes me really recently to see the miracle in this earth that we are living. Yeah, so
Yeah.
So do you think it's very important to travel abroad?
I think it's important, but it's not a must. It's important if we can afford, if we can arrange our time. But if we can't, there's so many ways we can travel through a virtual world. That's also okay. You can see something, you can learn something, and you get a people to actually virtually guide you on the food, on the thing, but nothing compared to the reality experience. So if you get a real experience, if you can afford your time and your economy, that's the best. But if not, then I think it's fine. You just enjoy the short trip, whatever you can afford. Even just go out of the house to go to the park is already make you feel happy. So yeah, there is no must in everything. For me, I just think if we can afford anything, we do. If we don't, it's fine. We can have so many ways to enjoy and experience things in our life.
Yeah, I agree. I remember my parents never had a chance to travel abroad when they were young. But I think that's okay because at that time, Vietnamese still a developing country. We don't have much money to afford a trip abroad, right? But nowadays, especially the young, we have more chance. And I think it's very important because it helps us to be open-minded, to understand the world. I mean, not limited within our country. We have real experience to study, to understand different people, different culture, and to gain more experience and knowledge.
Yeah, but still, I when I talk to my parents, I do feel like my dad. They never feel lack of anything. Like he feel happy with his life, even he didn't travel. So it really depends on us in terms of whether it is a need to travel or without travel you still can be happy. So it's really depend on us. And how about Queen? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree that it's not a must, but I still prefer because we don't know what we don't know. We don't have the demand to travel because we never have that experience. We don't have a demand to go abroad because we never know that, okay, there's something else that we also never know. And if we go abroad, some people out there will teach us. Yeah, like Chị Phương said, we will be open minded. And after the trip, we can go back, think about what just happened, and compare with what we are thinking and why we are thinking that way and why the other thinking the different way. And then from that, we appreciate our life more, and we can add on something on our life to make it more valuable, more
Mm.
interesting.
Yeah, but still, for me, I think somehow we still have to be balanced between traveling and also time for family, for work, for our own self to develop other things. When we go, we appreciate the peaceful time we have at home. When we are not able to travel, we appreciate those experience, those moments that we got a chance. It's really somehow really benefit, and even some bad experience that you might face when you travel, for example the scam, also learn something, because I also did hear the experience from my friends who got snatched, like their clothes, their bag, their money all got stolen in different country. And somehow when they look back, they still told me, I had a colleague who used to tell me that she went for a trip in Ho Chi Minh City, and on the way to the airport she got scammed, like somebody stole her whole luggage including the passport, and she was so panicked at that time. And then when she looked back, she said, how could I handle those moments? And yeah, people still see that even those bad moments that you face is also something that you learn during the trip.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, traveling is just part of our life.
Yeah, and the more we go, the more we feel that we know so little about the world. And what we travel, even 10 countries that you've been to, 20 countries that you have been to, still so nothing. What you know is really nothing.
Right. So one last question I want to ask, like, have you watched the movie named The Bucket List?
I remember Queen mentioned.
Yeah, you mentioned sometime, but
Yes. So anyway, that movie is like two men like met in a hospital when they almost die, and they plan the trip together, like to go through all the places that they want to go. So they called it the bucket list. So I want to ask you, like, what is the place that is still in your bucket list and you still haven't made it yet?
For me, I think it's a long journey to do it, but like I have this thing for like a few back years now, but I know that it's kind of hard. I don't want to travel, but I want to live in New York City for like at least 6 months or 1 year. I want to spend like the
Yeah.
New Year times in the Times Square.
New York City New Year
Times Square,
celebration, Times
like
Square.
I want to live like the New York model city life. Like at midnight, go get pizza for 99 cents or $1.50. My dream.
Dream about getting a discount pizza in New York City for 99 cents only.
For $1.99 at midnight on New Year's, and then hang out with my friends or family, and then drink, celebrate the New Year in New York City for one time at least.
Oh,
Okay.
so you would like to go with your family or just with your
No,
friends
not
or just
family for
alone?
this time.
I can alone, but I'm kind of lonely. I'm very extrovert. Like I need to talk. I'm like addicted to talking. I can't imagine when I have to lose my mouth. I can't live without my mouth. For
So
eating,
for talking,
for speaking, I can't live. I rather die.
cannot live without a mouth. It's very important part.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but for you, I'm pretty sure that you can make new friends very easily, even when you travel abroad alone to a new city or to a new country. Yeah,
Phương, how about you?
I have a long list. As I told you, I haven't had many chance to travel abroad to many different countries. For example, I have never been to Europe or to America. I mean, to different continents, right? So my bucket list, I think is a very long list. Yeah.
So the bucket is already full now with a lot of lists that you can't mention. I talked with my husband. He said, "Yeah, we've been to this and that." But I said, "Still, there's so many places that we really want to do. Like,
Go,
yeah,
but
we
we
go a
can't.
lot, mostly in Asia, and then some country we went 2 times in the same city, like
Right. I think I'm quite the same. Yeah. How about Gwen?
Queen."
Oh, yeah, there's one country that I really wanted to visit, Russia. Actually,
Mm,
when I was small, I like to go to three countries, especially. The first one is Singapore. The reason is I was thinking like, why Singapore is just a small country and not far from Vietnam, but they really developed. So I want to see what they have, and I did. I went to Singapore. The second one is Japan, because I loved reading Conan. And then when we were small, right, there were many movies, Japanese movies, and they showed a lot of beautiful, delicious foods in the movies. So I want to visit Japan. And the third one is Russia, because my dad, he studied in Russia before, and actually I wanted to bring him back to Russia,
mm.
but I'm not sure if I can make that dream come true. But
Yeah.
anyway,
You
Russia,
can, you
I
can do it.
I heard that the culture of Russia is also unique, also mixed of many cultures.
Mm. Yeah, so for me too, I'm the last person here. So I have actually 3 trips that I want to do, and it's also long trip. First one is the kind of intercontinent that we can make maybe 6 months or year to leave the job maybe without pay to plan everything in advance and then travel for 6 months or a year in a different country. Each country be 15 days or 1 month in a big country. So it really needs a lot of time to plan in terms of the journey, the visa things, and economy. Most importantly, how you plan your financial things so you can make that trip for a year. Another trip is for myself. I really love to go to the Scandinavian country where they have a northern light, the aura things. I'm not sure you ever heard
Mm.
about that. Yeah, that is the second trip that I want to go. That would be short trip. Another one is to drive in a different state in US, like a month in US, just driving from one state to another state. But now because of the safety situations, so it makes me maybe reconsider to another trip. But I used to have this 3 big plan in mind. Yeah, work on it and not sure what we can make. But I'm still not too much stressed in terms of making it happen.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think it's a good thing. We don't have stress or anxiety about that, but we still have dream to pursue, and I think dreams can come true if we keep in mind. We can visualize the dreams. Yeah,
Yeah, and then so many multiple small trips
yeah,
that also make my bucket full that I can't mention because it's really long list.
yeah. Bucket
Mm,
is full, but maybe our pockets is empty.
that's right. Yeah, it's so
Uh,
good. Yeah, today to share with you all the things about traveling.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining this episode. The first time we speak English. Of course, our English is not perfect. We know it, but this is just a chance for us to improve ourselves and to share with you some of our experience and ideas about traveling. We all agree that traveling is a very important part in our life. It helps us a lot to learn about our world, and by doing so, we learn many lessons, and we all have a bucket list of the destination we would like to travel. I hope our dreams will come true, and so do you. Keep dreaming and keep traveling. Thank you and
Thank
goodbye.
you.
Thank
Thank
you. Bye
you.
bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
thank you. Bye bye.